Hi, guys. So I'm just going to quickly go over what is expected of you in the next week. So you have exactly a week to work on this project. It's due next Wednesday, and you're going to have two full classes to do it, both Thursday and Friday. So I'm just going to talk you through it step by step. So I got the inspiration for this project by the quote of Joseph Campbell's: "Every myth is psychologically symbolic. Its narratives and images are to be read. Therefore, not literally, but as metaphors." And also, one note I wanted to add, if we did have a class today, is that almost every myth refers to the birth of the spiritual man out of the animal man. Because an epiphany or an awakening happens when you awaken at the level of your heart to compassion. It's not just passion, it's compassion, which means shared suffering. You're experiencing participation in the suffering of another person. So that's the beginning of humanity. And the meditations of religion and so many of the metaphors in these myths are on that level, the heart level. So you might want to think, as you're reading these yourself, have you been spiritually reborn in any way? For instance, has this pandemic kind of enticed you to go inside, or maybe even forced you to go deeper into a deeper level of consciousness and question your life and begin to try to learn lessons inwards, right? Because we're not allowed to go outside as much. So, have you died to your animal nature, and have you come to life as a human incarnation of compassion? Think about that. And if you haven't become more compassionate, you should start working on it as soon as you can. Okay, one other motif. This is going to help you. One motif that occurs in almost every single myth and every single religion, every single ancient mythology, in many symbolic forms, is that out of death comes life. And the body is associated with life, and the spirit is associated with death. So when you lose someone you love very much, so you know that there's something will live on, that it's just the life in the body that's ended, and that the death and resurrection of the spirit or the god or whatever you believe in is everywhere. And that so in essence there's an idea of death to the past and birth to the future in our lives and our thinking. So again, death to the animal nature and birth to the spiritual. So you will find these symbols in almost all of your myths. And now I'm going to go through what you have to do, okay? So you and your group members, you're in groups of 3, are going to create a recorded presentation about, I would say, like 3 to 7 minutes long, using Screencastify, WeVideo, or other GPS approved platforms, unless you approve, you get it approved with me first. So you demonstrate to us, your audience, how the narratives of your myth and the images and the motifs can be read as metaphors. So you're going to make it clear to us how its narratives and images and motifs can be read as metaphors. And you can go back through all your notes to do this. Don't forget the initial presentations that you had. Research the culture from which your myth was born. In those textbooks, you have all kinds of introductions to your myth, and create a captivating retelling and analysis of it. I'm letting you choose how you want to do that. We have some animators in the room. We have some visual artists in the room. We have some photographers in the room. So you use your creativity to, the best of your ability. You have the whole weekend to work on that. So, if you want to use Thursday and Friday as planning time, make the best use of your time. And then, the weekend to do your art. You have all the way until Wednesday to do this. So I want to hear everyone's voice in the presentation, though, so you figure that out. I'm not going to tell you how to do that. That's up to you. It's 21st century. So I really want you to push yourself. This is your first summative for this English class. So in addition to your presentation, here are the requirements. So in addition to your visual and auditory presentation in support of the theme of your myth, that's 30 points. Within that presentation, you have to provide context and information about the culture from which your myth was born. And then you have to include at least one relationship between the characters or between the animals or the outside world, one theme and one motif in your myth analysis. And then there's an individual submission. Okay. It's a 1-page writing piece. So it's a 1-page analysis. You just pick one of those 3 things. It's about 1 page or like 3 paragraphs, okay? Establishing a strong claim, direct evidence, and thorough explanations, reasoning. And so that's 20 points. So I'm grading you all as a group for the 30 points and then as separately for the 20 points. Okay, guys? So here's the rubric. Everything is due in the beginning of class on Wednesday, and then I'm going to have you guys post them on a Padlet wall, and we're going to look at them. As you can see, it's broken down into analysis and synthesis with 20 points, and then craftsmanship is 10 points. I'm going to put these rubrics, this whole paper actually, on Classroom so you have it. And then this is what I give my sophomores so that they know what to expect with their writing. But I'm just going to go through it with you too, since I've never seen your writing other than the summer reading. So it has to be original. You have to answer the question or the prompt. You have to have a point. You have to establish what and why. All the ideas are supported. You don't have... I would say at least one direct quotation in your analysis, but you can also just write about what's happening because the language isn't that amazing to quote in the myths. You want it to be fluid, unambiguous, and then here's some other pointers. I don't allow the word shows in my students' papers because it's way overdone. So there's so many other verb choices that I give you there. And hopefully you all know how to integrate quotations properly into your sentence structure. And if you don't know what that means, get in touch with me and we'll go over it. Okay, so I hope that covers all your questions, and I hope you know what to work towards now in preparing yourself for Thursday and Friday. So get in touch with your group members, figure out which myth you want to do. You all have the textbooks now, so think about it in relation to all these requirements I just gave you, okay? And I'll see you on Thursday. Bye.